Cassie Howard is a main character in the HBO teen drama series Euphoria. Portrayed by actress Sydney Sweeney, she is widely recognized as one of the most polarizing figures. Known for her deeply sweet yet profoundly insecure personality, which leads her down a path of emotional volatility and self-destruction. Season 1, her storyline focuses around a search for intimacy. Cassie navigates a complicated relationship with college football player Chris McKay. Despite her devotion, she deals with the humiliation of leaked private videos and ultimately undergoes a lonely emotional ordeal when she chooses to get an abortion. Season 2, she starts to spiral downward. Triggered by isolation and low self-esteem, Cassie enters a secret toxic relationship with Nate Jacobs, the abusive ex-boyfriend of her lifelong best friend, Maddie Perez. This betrayal triggers an erratic, manic breakdown, culminating in a violent public confrontation during her sister Lexi's school play. Season 3 displays the aftermath. Following a brief marriage to Nate and his subsequent death, Cassie's arc takes a bleak, modern turn. Strapped with massive debt, she turns to online sex work as an OnlyFans model to survive, exploring a deeply explicit and controversial new avenue of her sexuality. In this video, we will understand Cassie's mindset and her tragic psychological motivations. We'll look into how this mindset can be both beneficial and destructive. This is Black Satin Theory. Cultural obsession with Cassie Howard stems from how acutely her character captures the dark reality of performative femininity and relatable relational trauma. Whether audiences pitied her, loved her, or hated her, she was arguably one of the most polarizing and talked about characters on television. While characters like Rue face severe substance addiction, Cassie deals with an addiction to external validation and being chosen. Cassie embodies the ultimate tragedy of a girl whose only currency is her appearance. Hypersexualized constantly by the men around her, she completely leaned into that objectification as a form of armor, and eventually learned to profit from it. Howard is the ultimate love-addicted people-pleaser, driven by an anxious attachment mindset. In modern internet culture, she perfectly embodies the "I can fix him" or the pick-me archetype taken to its most extreme, dangerous conclusion. She seems to think that if she is not loved, then she does not exist. She has no internal sense of self-worth. She relies entirely on external validation, usually from toxic men, to regulate her emotions. When she is single, she experiences a psychological void, which drives her to jump from one intense relationship to the next. She doesn't have a stable sense of identity. Instead, she mirrors the person she wants to keep. She says, "Tell me who you want me to be, and I will become it." When she was with McKay, she tried to be the supportive, sweet college girlfriend. When she targeted Nate, she transformed herself into a hyper-feminine, submissive fantasy, completely erasing her own likes, dislikes, and morals just to fit his ideal mold. Starved for stable affection, Cassie views love as a scarce resource that must be stolen and hoarded. This mindset is what allowed her to ruthlessly betray her best friend Maddie. She didn't hurt Maddie out of malice. Instead, she did it because her desperate need to be chosen by Nate overrode her loyalty, her morals, and her grip on reality. Cassie views her physical beauty and submissiveness not as personal traits, but as currency and armor. She thinks, if I am beautiful and perfect enough, no one can ever leave me or hurt me. This manifests in her obsessive, agonizing beauty rituals, and her willingness to endure extreme emotional abuse. She believes that suffering is a natural price to pay for being desired. Ultimately, Cassie is a tragic romantic who weaponizes her own vulnerability. She is a girl who would rather burn the entire world to the ground and be hated by everyone than spend a single night unnoticed or unloved. Sly behavior is fueled by an anxious attachment mindset, where she views male validation and the spotlight as vital for survival rather than selfish manipulation. That helps her get what she wants in a few specific ways. Cassie's behavior is rooted in severe paternal abandonment, which shapes her into a character who externalizes her trauma to survive. Cassie's father was emotionally inconsistent before disappearing entirely. This left her with a foundational belief: if I am not perfect and deeply desired, people will leave me. Unlike her sister Lexi, who copes by fading into the background, Cassie learns to regulate her emotions through other people, adopting whatever personality traits her partner or target desires just to feel safe. Her alcoholic, emotionally absent mother, Suze, failed to provide a stable female blueprint. Cassie subconsciously views other women as competition for scarce affection, leading her to treat validation as a zero-sum game. What looked like a chaotic breakdown in high school becomes her greatest asset as an adult. Her desperate need for the spotlight transforms into a structured business model. In high school, her grueling, obsessive morning beauty ritual was a desperate plea for Nate's attention. In Season 3, she scales this hyperfixation on physical perfection into a massively lucrative content creation and digital media empire. Cassie's inherent lack of shame regarding how she obtains attention allows her to lean into being the villain. Alongside her toxic marriage to Nate earlier in the season, she uses public obsession with her personal life to feed content channels. In a brilliant twist of calculated survival, her former best friend Maddie Perez steps in as a Hollywood talent manager. Maddie capitalizes on Cassie's relentless drive for visibility, ultimately steering them toward co-living and running a highly successful OnlyFans content house together. Cassie uses fame, beauty, and constant public consumption to try and build a fortress. She realizes that if the entire world is looking at her, she can never be truly abandoned or ignored again. Her odd quirks actually end up working for her because they are fueled by a terrifying, boundless energy. While other characters hesitate due to pride or self-respect, Cassie's abandonment issues ensure she has absolutely nothing left to lose, allowing her to out-hustle everyone to secure the spotlight. Cassie Howard was able to translate her deep psychological damage into millions of dollars because internet culture and modern creator platforms are perfectly designed to monetize hyperfemininity, exhibitionism, and toxic drama. Learns to monetize the male gaze. Cassie grew up believing that her physical appearance and sexual compliance were her only sources of worth. In high school, she gave that power away to men for free, only to be discarded. So she pivots. On OnlyFans, she cuts out the middleman. Her chameleon mindset aids her in knowing exactly how to look and fulfill a man's submissive, hyperfeminine fantasies, becoming a structured content engine. Instead of trying to please just one narcissist like Nate, she scales that submission to 50,000 subscribers, getting paid by thousands of men for the exact perfect fantasy she used to lose her sanity over. Her infinite stamina for performing perfection is funneled into structured ASMR, custom fetish videos, and endless digital media curation. Her hyperfixation on her body shifts from a trauma response to a high-yield corporate discipline. Cassie's mindset makes her easily manipulated, which means she needs a mastermind to direct her energy. An ultimate shift happens when her former best friend, Maddie Perez, becomes her talent manager. Cassie provides the complete lack of boundaries, the desperate drive for attention, and the physical asset. Maddie brings the cold, objective business logic. Maddie understands how to turn public shaming and toxic relationship drama into high-earning, rage-bait podcast bookings and premium content tiers. Together, they pitch the operation to nightlife moguls, scaling Cassie's brand into $1 million a month operation and transforming Cassie's mansion into a literal OnlyFans creator hub. Her only downfall is that her lack of self-esteem makes her the perfect target for narcissists. A narcissist like Nate Jacobs just doesn't accidentally find a girl like Cassie. He is instinctively drawn to her because her specific traumas perfectly mirror his specific need for control, dominance, and a hollow ego feed. Because her father abandoned her, Cassie's internal standard for love is incredibly low. Narcissist doesn't have to treat her well to keep her. They quickly realize they can treat her poorly, offer a single dynamic apology, and she will forgive them just to avoid being left alone again. Lacking a solid sense of self-worth or independent identity, she defines herself purely through the reflection of the man she's with. She is highly moldable, and narcissists hate strong boundaries and distinct personalities. They want an empty vessel they can shape into their perfect submissive fantasy. Cassie openly volunteers herself to erase her own likes and opinions, even to the point of Nate manipulating her into covering up his mess and paying his debts. Ultimately, Cassie profits because she finds a system where her emotional voids are fulfilled by an endless stream of digital attention. Her financial accounts are filled by the very audience consuming her tragedy.